so welcome back to the afternoon session. First off, I'd like to just open up to questions, okay? If there's any questions about anything that we talked about, or whatever. Yes?
What happens to me that sometimes I have in my belly like anxiety.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So sometimes when I wake up at night and I go back to bed, if I spend a few
Yep.
then
I can empathize perfectly.
I think I let fall asleep again. And I try to follow the breathing, like turn different positions, sometimes meditate, but it doesn't work with me. So, is there like a mantra or something that I do help myself with?
Okay, it's not uncommon to have, let's say, what do you say, it's sort of insomnia in one way, and such. So what I do for myself, because sometimes you wake up at 2 in the morning, and then if we're unlucky enough that suddenly our thoughts start kicking in, and then, oh, okay, damn it, Okay, so then what I do is I sit up in the bed. I don't stay lying down, because if I stay lying down, I'll be there for 2 hours, just and not falling asleep. But I sit up, lean against the back of the bed, and quiet. I got my wife beside me, so I'm just quiet. And then I try to just actually meditate, or Fred, do you have any Buddhist practice, like a Tara mantra or Abu Mani Padme Hum or anything?
Yeah, I do it the time.
No, but do you do a mantra? Which deity? Oh, green. Oh, that's perfect. So then what I would do is if you have your mala on the bedside table, then if you sit up, just sort of do a little bit of breathing. Then if you want, you take your mala and just recite Tara mantra. And normally for me, within 5 minutes, I fall asleep. And because I've distracted myself from the normal thing that would keep me awake. So, but I found the more important thing is changing posture, but not getting out of the bed, because that's too much. Then you can't fall asleep again. But to just lean up against the headboard. And then if you want, the mala is sort of helpful. You could do it without that, but then I just sort of just do the mantra quietly, and something also would be is like, have a small mala, don't have a great big clunky one, just a really teeny one. Like, for example, I don't have, like something no bigger than that, or even smaller than that. People have these great big malas, it's too much work. So something small that you can just do really easily. Like that. So those would be my suggestions. So experiment. Just change posture 100%, because then you think. Do just a little bit of breathing, just to sort of get settled. And then if you want to, use a mala, and this is the Tara mantra. And at a certain point, I find this sort of like this wave of, okay, I've done enough now. And then you can fall over on top of him and wake him up. No, that's just to give it a try, because it's aside from that. At various times we all suffer from some insomnia a bit. So does that answer the question a little bit? Okay, good. Yes.
I might have missed this in the beginning. You were caught up with terrible traffic and close to freeway. How do you say your name?
It's Jampa.
John. Okay.
Yeah. So,
John, my question is, I have the opposite problem. I fall asleep when I'm meditating.
yes, join the club. When we get older, it's like that.
Okay, maybe it's the same thing. Maybe you use your mama.
Well, because I have to be careful. I'm 73, so I'm getting up there.
I'm 76.
Oh, hey, we're in the same club, Anyway, so I have to be a little careful about how long I meditate, because you're right. It's sort of like that. So I try to do shorter sessions with some clarity, and like I can sometimes get away with 20 minutes, but I find better like 15 minutes. If I have a practice to do, that's something. Then I'm normally occupied with that, like saying a prayer, doing something. But if I actually try to do quietude meditation, then I do have to be a little bit more careful. So shorter sessions is what I'd recommend. And I mean, we're for you and I, we're mature, and we have lots of experience under our belt. So it's just a question of just adjusting our schedule a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could you talk a bit more on meditating with your eyes closed versus open, or partially open? What I'm finding is that my mindfulness has become a little stronger when I meditate with my eyes partially open, because I can transition into daily life a little bit easier. As visual stimuli, optical stimuli arise, and if my eyes are partially open, I practice on not being pulled out.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it is personal because, again, I mean, it depends on the discipline and the particular style of practice. Because some people, in the technique that they were taught, you have your eyes open. For example, in some Dzogchen practices, your eyes are open. Other times, no. So first off, it depends a bit on the style of practice. As for the answer about eyes open, half open, or closed, um, it if you do it with your eyes closed, you do definitely cut off a big source of stimulation, which is your eyes. I mean, there's in the meditation text it does say the nerve of the eye is very sensitive, like very fastly reactive. So I mean, you're sitting there, and there's even just a fly over here. You catch it with your visual consciousness. So closing your eyes can be very beneficial. Or in the Zen tradition, you face a wall. That's part of the same thing, and try to limit stimulation if eyes are open. If you close your eyes, let's say, have them more or less looking about a meter or a yard in front of you, so that they're not open, they're partially closed. Again, be careful of that there's not a lot of stuff there that's in front of you, so that again you don't have anything to stimulate you. That would be good. And then finally, closed. If your eyes are closed, sometimes you can focus a lot more on inner experiences. But again, like for the two of us, we'll fall asleep, but that's okay. But so depends what you want to attain. The bigger thing you want, I mean, again, there's many styles of meditation, but I think for guys like us, we're lay people, we have jobs, or we're retired, but we still have things to do. That what we want to create is a sort of a buffer, that I'm not just reactive. And how you accomplish that is by developing your breathing meditation. That when you shift your attention to the breathing, so generally movement of the chest, that automatically you invoke whatever you've managed to accomplish over the last years or something, of a sense of peacefulness, like I'm present. And so the more you have a familiarity with, okay, my breathing, when I'm more conscious of it, I relax. That's a familiarity. That is your buffer. So that when you're I mean, I'm married, and I'm married to a beautiful Mexican woman, but there's a lot of dynamic there, and so in the middle of me not having done something perfect, that then she's expressing that to me. I don't want to ignore her. That would be really bad. I don't want to battle with her about it, because that's not beneficial either. I want to be present. So I shift to my breathing, and I listen to what has to be said, and then I respond as whatever seems most appropriately. But the ability to do that is familiarity with just it's literally, if you sit in a comfortable posture, my body's comfortable. You have a conscious awareness. I'm comfortable right now. You mix that with breathing, and you're able to hold your attention in that breathing. Then you become familiar with that. That becomes a state of consciousness, and that's what mindfulness is. And then from there, you bring that to the various environments you're in. So, suddenly you've got somebody in front of you freaking out. I'm not talking about my wife; she's wonderful. But to say somebody's upset with something or whatever, or maybe you're driving your car and somebody cuts you off a little bit or something. You can just you take your attention to your breathing, and it just disengages from the object that's normally going to agitate you, to maybe having a little bit of that buffer that helps you make a better decision, okay? So there's no, like, we had eyes open, partly open, or closed. Whatever suits your meditation style would be the answer, but really look for the ability to have a state of awareness that embodies some peace or buffer, that's your personal space. Okay? It's a good question, thank you. Other questions, commentaries? Yeah. No, it's fine.
You mentioned earlier that you feel like a mom provides you that you feel like unhappy, like to eat something sweet.
Oh yeah, well, you have to be careful of that one. Yeah, that's how you get fat.
Because I try to stay from sweets, but I mean, sometimes there's sadness. I don't know, could you explain a little bit more why that?
Okay, okay. When I gave that example, I know that with the Tibetans, and we were monks. Okay, so we're in India, we're monks, and so when you're feeling distressed about something, they would just grab you and take you to an Indian tea stall. And you drink a nice tea and thing, and it just changes the mood. Okay, so that was their technique. Now, obviously, you got to be careful because then you can say, "Oh, I'm unhappy. I'm going to eat some food." Well, then suddenly you're weighing 50 kilos more than you want to. So that's not the best technique. I would think that it's a question of having something that is not going to be damaging to your health, but changes the mood. So, I don't know, have a massage, or get hey, darling, I need a massage. Just the shoulders, like, okay, just give me a massage, just something that changes the mood. So that'd be maybe better. I mean, that's why you got him. He's your husband, so it's your responsibility, I have one of those. A friend of mine gave me a Thorogun. It's one of those ones that goes blah 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 blah. And so I'm quite often doing that with my wife. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I would. That's good. Yes, you could. Darling, you need tea, not me. No, yeah, I'm just, the Tibetans were looking at it as do something that changes your mind and makes you a little happy. So a nice cup of sweet tea, could be what it is, or maybe you get a Starbucks or something, a latte, But again, that's going to be a cause of being fat. But I'm just giving an example that do something that maybe can change it. Now, again, I mean, I'm married. I've been married with my wife for 20 years, so we have little techniques that we sort of help each other, giving each other a hug. We're retired, so we have that option. So that, or massage, or go for a walk. I mean, something that just changes the environment and possibly is pleasing. Those would be the parameters for that example. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Every people very much when like somebody catches the focus in the object, focus on self, and my interpretation is like conscious mind, don't focus on the I judge, I get mad, that people instead of self, like that mind trying to be in the interior, in that kind of like you said before, that phenomena.
Yeah. Well, again, as one becomes more mindful, one can catch one's internal dialogue about how it's phrasing things, how it's establishing things, because you can say your attitude is a creator of your experience. What's the cause of attitude? It's the way we think. So we try to cultivate our attitude. Now, something you can do with that is having a mantra that's meaningful for you. I mean, Mani Padme Hum is great. It's compassion. Or Tara mantra is really good. It's, again, enlightened activity. So that's one way to sort of turn your mind a little bit. But the main thing is that yeah, try to be a little more conscious of how we're thinking. If we have too many thoughts, like we're quite sort of, let's say, nervous, but easily agitated, put more emphasis to breathing meditation to establish the buffer. Then you can shift over and maybe deal with the way you're thinking about stuff. Again, meditation is being at peace with yourself. Have that as, okay, I've got to be more at peace with myself. Or maybe there's the I word there, but okay, but it's like, I would like to be peaceful. And then you get that. So get that foundation. Then you can shift over to being more cultivating the type of thoughts that you'd like to have. It takes time. I mean, take 4 or 5 years sometimes to be able to have things, but it's better than not. It's like a mental hygiene. Okay?
Yeah, question, can you say, like somebody question, right? I'm good at that question, but can I say, we want to be peaceful? Can I say that? Like the object say, we want to be in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pull him
Yeah.
or eat him?
Okay, if you're in a situation, I mean, whether you say it out loud or not is your choice, but you say that, I mean, you can say, like, it'd be literally a mantra, may this situation be peaceful, may this person have happiness and the cause of happiness, or may this person be free of suffering and the cause of suffering. I mean, those are big sentences, but they are literally a mantra. So yeah, you invoke that with the thought. Now, the more you're familiar with it, the more powerful those thoughts or feelings are. So so yes, I mean, may there be peace, or something. Again, these are you could say ideas that are similar to a mantra that help you focus or gain clarity. Okay, good. Yeah. Other. Okay. Let's meditate again. Now, I know you were all, Buddhists. You've all been practicing for various years with various teachers and things. I'd like you just to be more conscious of, you could say, a really simple, basic goal, which could be a foundation for all of the different things I possibly do with my meditation or in my life. And so, therefore, I mean, I've got 53 years of Buddhism under my belt now. I mean, I started when I was 20 years old. Now I'm 73. And so I can say that, honestly, breathing meditation is the ground I want. I mean, it just, I have lots of philosophy and lots of, attitude stuff. But if I can't be, breathing meditation gives me so much of a ground to stand on about everything that's going on. Then, within that, I can apply it to my situations that I have. So, with that, then, take a comfortable posture. And you can move your shoulders a little bit just to make sure you're not carrying any stress. Take one breath, a big breath. So just drop any extra little luggage that you might be carrying to this moment. Return to natural breathing. Now, in the statistics, they do say that the average length of mindfulness for us as beginners is about 20 to 30 seconds. Sounds sort of shocking, but within 20 seconds of trying to settle, you'll have some thoughts come up. But it's not like, don't be judgmental of yourself. Just say, okay, this is my time for meditation. And when you become aware that you're thinking about something, just drop it. Don't judge yourself. Don't criticize yourself, because that's just adding fuel to being unhappy. And say, okay, now is my time for meditation. I'll deal with that later. So our body's reasonably comfortable. We took one big breath. I'm doing this not only for myself, but I'd like to offer more enlightened relationship to my partner or my friends or people at work. But do pick an object that you have a warm feeling for, because that's a bit of good karma. And so that's why I'm going to meditate. And that we have natural breathing, but we move our attention to the sensations of our chest moving. Initially, it's a rather coarse object, just inhalation, exhalation. But as you gain some focus or some sensitivity, you realize your chest is full of sensations. And that can be a good basis for your mindfulness. It's part of breathing, but it's a little more sensitivity with the sensations in the chest. As we continue to meditate, remember that when we have distracting thoughts, just say, "This is my time for meditation," no judgment, and return to the sensations of your chest. Bringing our awareness back to our breathing. Bring our meditation to a conclusion. But just as I started with I like to be happy, I like to also offer a more happy relationship to others. We finish with, I dedicate my 15 minutes of meditation towards being more enlightened, and that's my offering towards others. So that concludes this morning. You know, the major cause of why we meditate is when we have a big problem. like, why did you do that? What's going on? What's happening? I hate you. I hate what's happening in my life. All of that. Then you go, oh, fuck. And then you go, okay. And then you say, I gotta get in touch with myself. You know, life's so crazy. Like you could say, outside it's also crazy making. Okay. And then you get a bit of personal space. You go, oh, this is so much nicer. You know. Now that doesn't mean that you run away from your problems, but you found a little bit of personal peace, and it wasn't on losing yourself in your cell phone or I don't know, playing a video game, which could be, those things could be okay, but no, it's like, okay, hey, I'm peaceful. I got a little bit of my personal space. I can now say, this is who I am in this situation. Thank you very much. Okay, so meditation has that sort of benefit, and it is funny. I mean, for myself, and I'm sure for many of my friends that have been meditating for years, one of the big things that gets us back on our cushion is some problem. You know, so okay, I need to get back in touch with myself. Damn it. Okay. So anyway, so with that note, then we're off to lunch. I think I've got an appointment with someone, but I'll see you back here at 2:30. Okay? And we'll then continue. When we come back, because I've got a foundation now, just to give you an idea of some meditation. Now, the next session is going to be structure, the scaffolding that I talked about at the beginning of this morning. Putting a little bit of scaffolding around us. And within that, then, that goes together, complements your getting your act together. See, so they're going to be complementary. So thanks very much. Take care.